Well, I guess if you wanted something to celebrate besides, the freedom of our country and all that, and light off fireworks later on to do so, then this basically is one reason if you're a Sonic fan to celebrate. It was revealed, courtesy of all places Amazon, and I guess officially confirmed by NCircle, that yes, we are getting this on September 19th, and that is the complete series of Sonic SatAM on DVD. However, there is a bit of a difference between this and, well, the original. You see, the original basically, well, the original was more along the lines of a 4-disc release. Basically, 2 seasons on 4 separate discs. This, however, it seems, according to some, probably is going to be a 2-disc release, but I think we need to kind of, I guess you can say, basically kind of filter those thoughts for just a moment, because just because NCircle is releasing it and it seems to be confirmation of a 2-disc release, that could all change. So we have to hold our horses and everything. Now, the other difference though between this one and the original release by Shout Factory is there seems to be a lack of special features. But why is that? Why is there a lack of special features? Well, most likely than anything, they're either going to try to get the rights to the special features, which is basically the storyboards, deleted scenes, and the interviews with Jaleel White and Ben Hurst, to try to just throw onto the new release. Then again, they just might be doing this because of the fact that it is Sonic SatAM's 30th anniversary, and they want to throw something out there to kind of celebrate it. Now, again, it may not be along the lines of what we had gotten before. There is no doubt about that. Whatsoever. There is no doubt about that. But if we try to be more positive, this is kind of, as some people look at it as a win. Now, what we must not forget though is NCircle is known to kind of rectify some of the releases. Sonic Boom, this most recent release of the complete series, was basically released in a steelbook version, months, if not years, after the original 2 Blu-ray releases and DVD releases by NCircle. So NCircle knows how to rectify and make up for basically the lack of quality that fans would expect when it comes to releasing very popular, very sought-after Sonic media. So when I look at the Sonic Boom steelbook release and everything, and the fact that it's a complete series release of the 2 volumes of Sonic Boom on Blu-ray as well as the DVD releases, then I have faith that down the line they might just also release a complete series Blu-ray, probably months later. But that will all depend on whether or not this sells well. But the obvious question is, why not Discotek? Why didn't Discotek make this part of the recent announcements? I think it all has to do with distributing licensing. You see, Discotek, no doubt in my mind, probably does have some kind of agreement going on with NCircle that possibly down the line we will get a Blu-ray release by them, in the future. But once again, as I've mentioned, it all depends basically on the sale of this release on September 19th. If basically NCircle could see a lot of copies being pre-ordered and ordered, between now and then, and even afterwards, there might be a good chance, that we will see the series get a Blu-ray release. Either it's by NCircle or, as a lot of people want it to be, Discotek. The other reason people want it to be Discotek is due to the fact that Discotek released Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, which had a complete series DVD release, volume-wise and complete series-wise, by NCircle. So the question is, why didn't NCircle do the same with SatAM? And again, like I said, I think it has to do with WildBrain's, I guess you could say, agreement they currently have with NCircle and Discotek. Like, Discotek can have, you know, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and maybe some others, like maybe Sonic Underground, which I don't think they have yet. Well, NCircle currently will still distribute Sonic SatAM and Sonic Boom. Basically, NCircle, I believe, in my opinion, feels that they have the more popular, more, I guess you could say, recently rejuvenated and reinterest Sonic products, media-wise, in their possession. But, again, the reason Discotek doesn't have, the distributing license is because of that kind of agreement. Now, will they get it in the future? Possibly, but we'll have to see. Either way you look at it, this is a big, big win for everybody involved. It really is. It may not be what we as fans have been wanting, but for those that didn't get a chance to get their hands on the original Shout Factory release, now they have the opportunity to do, such a thing with the NCircle release. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. But yet, here's the thing. Here's the question. Why now? Why release this now when you had opportunities in collaboration with Discotek or on your own to give it the same kind of treatment that, let's say, Sonic Boom and Adventures and Sonic X got? Well, I think the answer is very obvious. It's the anniversary of Sonic overall, comic-wise, and basically from a animation standpoint. So you're going to get several releases by him, for him, based on a lot of his animated properties, possibly this year. Just because, again, we didn't get what we were hoping for through Discotek, when it came to Sonic SatAM, doesn't mean we're not getting it, period. So this is a small win. It is again, it may not be what we were hoping for, but it's still a small win. But, like I said, as I mentioned before, if sales on pre-orders and orders directly become huge, for NCircle, then they in WildBrain will see and they will notice that fans want this on Blu-ray, especially when you order and pre-order it, and you comment that you are doing this because you want to see it get a better quality release, then so be it. Now, another thing we have to realize too is we cannot judge if it is a 2-disc release. We cannot judge it for the lack of quality. Because of nowadays, DVDs are a lot different than they were, believe it or not, when this came out 16 years ago. Because yes, it has been that long. It's been over a decade, a little over a decade and a half, I should say, a decade and a half since Shout Factory released the original complete series. So basically, we have to realize that technology has definitely changed, and DVDs now have stronger standards. Sometimes you have those, I guess you could say, double XL or DLs, or what are they all, double layers, triple layer DVDs that feel like they can, pass as a Blu-ray, but they're actually DVDs, just double layered. And sometimes double layered DVDs, can hold a lot more capacity-wise. So we have to look at it from that perspective, that just because it might be a 2-disc release does not mean it won't be good quality, because the disc they might be using could be double layered. So we have to remember that. But all in all, ladies and gentlemen, what we have to look at is the small victories we get in between here and there. And that's all we should be thinking about, the small victories. Because this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. And for someone like me, and like I said, for someone like me that has the, original release twice, opened and unopened, to probably get my hands on another re-release, even if it's 2-disc or not, that's something, because that will show my support for the show and my hope that it gets a Blu-ray quality release in the future. But again, we cannot forget the technology has evolved, and that it's going to be easier for them to transfer over what we see on Paramount Plus, what we see on YouTube through the Wild Brain channels, which are all 1080p. It'll be easier for them to do that, and especially if they use, I should say, and they probably will, double layer DVDs. So we have to remember that. But again, it's a small win, and the only way, in closing, guys, we'll be able to see it get a official Blu-ray release in the near future of higher quality and standard, like Sonic Boom did. Because you think NCircle would have not, released Sonic Boom on Blu-ray in separate volumes and then a complete, series steelbook volume? Do you think they would have done it if it didn't sell well? No, but it did sell well. Not only because it was Sonic, because people loved Sonic Boom. So, all in all, if you want a Blu-ray release in separate volumes, if not a complete series of Sonic SatAM, then my honest answer is go out, pre-order the blank out of this, if you know what I mean. Pre-order the SHIT out of this, if you will. Well, order, and then when it's official release, order the SHIT out of it as well. Just really show your support, and by doing so, through Amazon, through other retailers, online or in store, through NCircle store, by doing so, you will show your support. And if they ask for a comment, you put a comment and say, we are doing this because we want to see this get a proper Blu-ray release. That's what you do. That's what you do. But in closing, guys, that's all I really want to say. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Comment if you like. Super chats are open in the live chat. If you want to help donate, that would be appreciated and everything. But yeah, guys, we just have to... Guys, we just have to basically, pre-order and order the SHIT out of this to get our point across that we want a Blu-ray release, complete series and all, separate volumes and all, of Sonic SatAM very soon, very soon after this gets released. So that's all I'm going to say, guys. Again, check out the Teespring store, and I'll talk to y'all later.